This is Right About Now with Ryan Alford, a Radcast Network production. We are the #1 business show on the planet with over 1 million downloads a month. Taking the BS out of business for over 6 years and over 400 episodes. You ready to start snapping necks and cashing checks? Well, it starts right about now.
Hello. Welcome to Right About Now. I'm Ryan Alford, your host. It is our weekly business news of the week. We're taking the BS out of business, baby. And I'm always joined by my good friend, Chris Hansen. What's up, brother?
What's up, Brian? How are you today, big dog?
Hey, last week was in the pulpit. I might be, the minister of music today. I don't know, but
Preach, brother.
we'll try to keep the preaching to a minimum, but you just never know where it's going to go. The gloves are off. Let's just say that.
And you are from the South. Sometimes those Southern boys like to get on that soapbox and preach, baby.
I know, exactly. I feel like I needed a cigar after last week, but I feel like it's amazing though when you sort of like, you're trying to be transparent. And it's like you take the gloves off. The amount of feedback we've gotten has been amazing. I appreciate that. Locally, like I got some high fives at the lake this weekend. It's just funny how many people kind of come, hey, the silent majority, so to speak. And it's really not like a presidential, like a candidate or partisan. It really isn't. It's not like I'm like this closet MAGA guy. It's more just the beliefs and the policies and the obvious craziness that's going on. And so the gloves are off, baby. That's all I got to say.
Let's do it, bro.
How's the week?
It's been a great week. Like you, after last week, there was a lot of great feedback for the most part, right?
Yeah.
90% positive. And from people I probably would have not expected, some of them.
Yeah.
Which really just adds more fuel to my fire. So
I got some real obvious, like the other side.
Yeah.
And they know who they are. And by the way they acted and reacted about things and tried to make it about certain principles that had nothing to do with why they were really reacting. Mm-hmm. And so several of those, and it proves the point. So that how, I don't know, it's polarizing and I get it, but it's like, we can't have opposing views without reacting. And so it's fine. It's all good. I'd rather it all be out there anyway. I don't want any closet like haters or snakes in the grass. We're getting all the snakes out of the grass officially in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Like we're pouring kerosene on that grass and lighting the fire. Get in the train or get off the train. It's fine, but we don't have to agree. But don't be fucking behind my back talking shit when you don't know the whole story. That's all I got to say. So we'll leave that there. What any craziness in Miami this week? Nothing, any art shows, festivals?
No.
Music scenes?
Real quiet week this week.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you go out to the beach, there's always a party. If you hit the nightclubs, there's always some big DJ, David Guetta or someone like that. But no big events. It's been quiet, rainy, hot. People are hiding.
Yeah. And I'll say this, like, we're just going to dive right in. Like, the switch is on, baby. Like, so Kamala Harris was, this is all going to come to business. We're getting right hard into the business here, but you just can't say without, she finished, I think, universally last in the Democratic primary or whatever it was, like, where everybody, 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago, you had 10, 12, 8, whatever the total candidates are. Mm-hmm. She was kind of universally finished last on the Democratic side, non-elected official. And she's like one heartbeat away from the presidency now, both in the short term and the long term as a non-elected official. And I get that's the way it works. The vice president's always one heartbeat away. But there's some extenuating circumstances here. And it's like, how we've been watching the decline of the president for the last 18 months at least. we could question even 3 years ago whether or not he, was capable of holding the position. But we've watched it. We've watched it with our own eyes as Kamala and everyone that supports that side defended it and said, there's nothing to see here. Nothing at all. So what is true? Was he incapable of running for a second term and declining, or was he just fine like he was 3 months ago when everybody said it was? Which one? We aren't stupid. Like, I just hope, like, right?
I saw this weekend, they're already airing commercials, like, and they're all holding signs, pass the torch, Joe. And I'm like, man, they really got these commercials pumped out pretty quick. If this is just happening, like, this is.
Yeah. And it's going to be a new day with Kamala. They're saying it's a new day. It's like all the rationale for why people were saying Joe Biden, was too old, whatever. They're now using those same arguments, like saying, "Oh, new day with Kamala." It's like
same slogans and whatnot.
And but the fact of it, the point is, you were either lying or you weren't. Were you lying 4 months ago when you said there's nothing wrong with Joe? He's not declining. He has the stutter. Remember, Joe stuttered his whole life. That was it. He's always had that little bit of stuttering sometimes when he's talking.
It makes me wonder who's been running the country.
Yeah. It's like, again, just
they act like the debate was the first time.
Remove the politics. Remove whatever side it is. He's the current president. He's been in decline for a long time. You could see it. And then when it became so obvious in that debate that you could no longer defend it, they threw him to the wolves. Got to go. Right. And they've been lying to us the whole time. Hiding it, protecting him, doing all those things. And now we should trust them to run the government.
Yeah.
Now we should elect her. I'm not even talking about the other side. I mean, pretend it's insert candidate here. This is purely about this side, about what I'm seeing, about the acting group that are running the country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've lied to us. It's been clear he's incapable of running the country. He hasn't been making the right decisions. He hasn't been leading. He's barely been showing up. What the fuck is happening?
That's the big question. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah. And now we raise $100 billion in, 7 hours, and Kamala's the greatest thing since sliced bread. This same party that voted her last 3 years ago now thinks she's the greatest thing since sliced bread to run the country.
Yeah.
Which one is it? Did you think she was the worst candidate 7 years ago, Democrats? That you now think is the best person to lead the country? Why is that? What has she done in 3.5 years to guide your confidence?
Right.
The way she's handled the border, the way she's handled small businesses and inflation, whatever her impact is on those things.
Because who were the leaders for the Democratic primaries back then? Who was it? Pete Buttigieg? Would you have Newsom?
Yeah.
Like you said, there was a million other names that were much more well-known, more political record.
Yes.
And more liked. And now you're not hearing any of those names of those people.
None. So she finishes last. Now she's going to be risen up to the first. Just because he picked her as vice president when he wasn't capable then. The fix is on, baby. You can... This is a conspiracy.
See the game plan
it's
in
just
motion.
It's
all too perfectly planned.
And so, and that's just that side. That just doesn't make any sense. I'm not even talking about Donald Trump here. I'm just talking about what the hell is going on over here. Like, much less the fact that, inflation continues to be the biggest hit on small business. 27% of small businesses complaining and it's the number one, 27% saying inflation impacting business every day, driving wages higher, costs higher, everything. We still have the border issue that's bringing in illegal aliens that are fighting for jobs for Americans, lowering their expectations, their costs, their life, because you have illegal aliens taking jobs that Americans should have. Not to mention the killing thing. I'm going to keep this about business. And so, but Kamala's done a great job at that, right? She hasn't even been there.
Hasn't she? Like,
she went there once or something.
One time.
Yeah, well, she's been once. I mean, and it's like, so.
You and I know, dude, you can't run a business and never be there.
No,
I would imagine.
No, my buddy Grant Cardone was on Fox News last night, and I'm not a Fox News. It gets a little polarizing. It gets a little, my mind goes a little crazy. I like Fox News. I respect all news outlets within reason. They're doing a job. They're doing their best. But Grant Cardone was on Fox News last night and talking about the very fact Kamala's never made a budget. She's never run a business. She's never hired and fired employees. She doesn't understand what it takes to push small business forward. Now, I know she has people around her that would and all those things. But do we need someone running the country that knows and understands what it takes to run a business? Or do you want someone who's a career politician, who has been somehow pushed to the front of the party when she was in the back of the bus, the back of the party? They wanted her last. She was last in the contest 3.5 years ago, whatever you want to call it. It's just crazy. So we could talk about all that, but the bottom line is inflation is still out of control and rising costs. Interest rates are still not where they should be. And that's the bottom line that's hurting American business every day. So I just tell you this, don't vote with your heart, vote with your pocketbook.
Yeah. Straight up.
Yeah. So you just do that. See where that leads you. That's what I tell you. Or your wallet or whatever you are, Don't want to be pressing any pocketbook holders, naturally. Part of that. We already got enough people trying to convince people that they need to, that it's naturalized, that normalized everything. Everything's normalized. Few articles today. We did have the biggest IT failure in world history.
Crazy.
CrowdStrike CEO called to testify to Congress over cybersecurity's firm's role in global tech outage. I think it's a good time to introduce actually Brianna Hall. What's up, Brianna?
Hey guys.
New producer, new keep up with everything we're doing extraordinaire.
Happy to be here. Thanks, Ryan.
Yes. And because the reason I wanted to do this is I don't remember if we know when the date of this actual testifying in front of Congress. Was that this week or next week? Do we know?
Let me check into that. Just one second.
But Chris, did you have, here's the irony of this. Look, we like to have, I'm talking some serious topics that we're still having fun. So I work from our houseboat when we don't have client meetings or recordings on Thursdays and Fridays during the summer. So we were at the houseboat Thursday night playing a little early release of EA Sports College Football. That did release last Friday. I'm going to talk about that. I'll tell you how I got it early.
I was going to say, you didn't tell me you had that type of connection. Then maybe I would have liked one too.
Dude, I'm connected. All right. So the kids and I are playing and it went down. I'm like, are you kidding me? I was sitting there going, I bet you, they handed out to too many people. The servers are down for EA Sports or whatever. No, it's Microsoft, baby. Microsoft Live, Xbox Live goes down. And we're like, damn, we were just halfway through. But no, that was how I knew, the world had gone haywire with the tech outages. Xbox Live was gone. It's like, what the hell? Finally got my hands on this game and I can't play it. So, yeah. But in all seriousness, I mean, if this doesn't scare you a little bit, I don't know what does. With how fast the whole mothership infrastructure can go down. What the hell?
You can put a pause in the world real quick.
Real quick. Hospitals. I mean, everything's connected now. If you don't have internet or power, it's kind of ubiquitous. If you don't have power or internet, all this shit stops running. The blue screen of death. I haven't seen that since freaking 20 years ago, on the PC. I haven't had a PC in probably 20 years, but
I was in the gym and I looked up. Every TV screen was the blue screen. It's like 12 TVs everywhere. And I was like, all right, well, this is a problem. And then, seeing what was going on at Miami International Airport was just complete chaos. And I had buddies call me actually, what was it, Friday? They called me Friday morning. They were like, yeah, we were at Tampa Airport going to a bachelor party in Nantucket. Everything's canceled. So we just rented a Suburban. We're driving down to the Keys.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
8.5 million machines impacted. Widespread outage of Windows computers stemming from a faulty CrowdStrike software update. One dude like pushed the update button. It's what I heard. Like it really came out. I'm like, imagine me and that guy. You're like, I'm just going to upload this one little file here. Oh shit. What? Dude. What just happened?
Yeah.
And you don't really know how big, probably immediately, like you just screwed the whole world over. It's like, damn son, what'd you do? He's sitting he's got Ralph next to him having some Doritos. Like,
dude.
There,
Yeah.
Whoa, what'd you do, Chris? My bad. I uploaded the update a little early and it's blue screen 8.5 million computers.
Completely insane.
And the only reason Pete in engineering knew is because he was playing Xbox Live while he was supposed to be working. He's like, wait, why'd my Xbox Live go down? What the fuck? Like, what it meant for small businesses to large corporations as they were all down for hours. What does this mean ahead of the election in November? It shows how easily vulnerable we are in this day and age. Yeah. I'll say this. I mean, we run an ad agency here. We run a podcast network. Call us. You know you want to. Anyway, but half our softwares have been jacked up for the days. None of the data makes sense. I got like 7 emails from different pieces of software company. Hey, the data is going to look a little funny for a few days. And if you don't have to use it, don't. I'm like, okay, well, as long as I don't have to pay for it, I might not use it. But I mean, it's just the sheer volume of the impact from hospitals to machines and banks. I mean, just the complete chaos that it created. It's like, I think it's eye-opening. I think that's probably what these sort of sit downs will be about. But like, we need to get our hands around this thing. If one dude at one company could create this kind of chaos, it's called fail safes, baby. We need a few more of them. Guardrails. It used to be like, even like managing like a new client's like new website. You kind of got the staging site and then the go live. It's like, we're staging it over here to make sure everything looks good. All the files are right. We're not causing any corruption. We're not like, but much less taking down 8.5 million. We need a staging server and a go live for whatever the hell they're doing.
It's a big fuck up.
Did it impact other than your gym screens for you?
Not me, no. My internet was a little weird, obviously, but I didn't notice. Like, it didn't majorly inconvenience me. Honestly.
Brianna, did any of your things, like, did you feel the impact of this any greater?
I mean, I tried to go to Starbucks and they weren't taking my app.
Exactly. Look, the country runs on caffeine now. So we shut the country down in all ways.
Yeah, it's
caffeine
true.
And Wi-Fi, baby.
Yeah. No, I couldn't, call into the team because my Slack was down. So, I mean, I just had an extended weekend, I guess.
Yeah. So some of this stuff's history, guys. So like, I bear with us. We're going to keep this about business, but there's some world history going on with what's happening with the president. I kind of got quickly on the soapbox in the Minister of Music. I was in the pastor, Minister of Music there on Kamala. I might get in the pastor's box with Joe Biden did resign via a letter on X/Twitter. I mean, what?
How has X become our primary form of communication with the leader of the free world? Like, that has become the acceptable form. Let me tweet this out real quick. Oh, yeah. Well, it's a picture of a PDF, so it's more formal. It's not just a tweet.
And Sawyer on our team made a good point, and I understand. Okay, let's go down the road and pretend that he was at face value. He did suffer from COVID, and his voice was out, and he didn't want to get on TV and do that. Fair enough. It's just all this stuff is really fucking serious and really important, and really like, and it's just the casualness of how some of this stuff is being sort of handled, I think is more the head scratching, right?
It makes me question because it's too casual and too smooth almost, right?
Yeah.
Like the next step is already ready, where I think
Exactly.
you and I can look at this objectively. Like, we run businesses, we run into problems. You don't have a solution the same day, right? You don't have it all figured out. You kind of like, oh shit, we need to fix this. It's too smooth.
I know.
Too casual.
I do now because I have Brianna, but she'll figure it out. Boom, just like that. But
secret weapon.
But yeah, you're right. It's like it doesn't get. We have the first letter ready. We have the second letter. We have the what is it when they
we have the replacement ready.
Yeah, the replacement ready and
she's
vouching
raised
for them.
$80
What's it
million
called when they I'm so non-political. I'm missing what it is when they say they support them. What is it when
endorsement.
Endorsement. Thank you. That's it. So you know this is not my territory when I can't remember that. So they have the endorsements ready. Like you said, everything was lined up perfect. It's like you'd almost think it was planned. I don't know.
You almost do. It's like a strategy's in play at some point or something, you know?
It almost seems strategic.
Seems very offensive and not very defensive.
Yeah. You know who's always at the top? That's, of course, Branded Bills, the official merchandise sponsor of Ryan Alford. And right about now, Chris is rocking the vacay hat. That was an early production with the old folks at Branded Bills. We've always got the Right About Now logo. Vibe Science, our other show. We got all the merch. We got some cool T-shirts and hoodies coming. It's all about custom. We've already talked about this. I've already gave you the idea. If you're a business or brand, don't do that cold calling. You send them a T-shirt. You send them a hoodie. You send them cool merch that has your stuff on it. And look, their design team is awesome. They'll design it for you. You go to brandedbills.com. Hit that custom button up in the right corner. Find it. You'll know it. You'll thank us for it. They will work with you to get your logo looking amazing on their merch. They'll do you some custom designs, whatever you want. Cold weather's coming up quickly. You got to have those hoodies. It's quality. This is quality goods, quality logos. They got leather straps, excuse me, leather straps, what they edit that out. Leather patches, leather goods, like all kinds of things with your logo on it. Sweatshirts, T-shirts, and of course, the hats are the best thing. They got the flat bills, curved bills. Chris is a curved bill guy. I'm a flat bill guy. Anyway, you need to go check them out. Do the custom order. You'll thank us for it. The official sponsor of Right About Now. Business leaders are reacting to Biden's exit from the presidential race. Both Republican and Democratic business leaders in America had called for Biden's removal. Yeah, after it was, again, too obvious not to let him continue. Many Dems now supporting Kamala Harris. Yep, he hasn't been on television. He, admittedly, just a programming note. We record this on Wednesdays. The presidential release of this on video would have happened. We don't have that knowledge for this recording, but he will have gone on by now, but did not as of Wednesday at lunchtime when we recorded this episode. So it's just, odd. Staged strategy, but odd. Yeah, I think if you're like really viewing this through the lens of like just an average person, critically. But you know what? When you lure everybody to sleep, like we have the last 3 to 4 years, and you got everybody just kind of, okay, just kind of casually dealing with things, accepting things as they are. And this isn't about conspiracy. It's just what's right fucking in front of your face. And you can either pay attention or you don't. So, yeah. Well, guess what? I endorse Donald Trump for president. There you go. The right about now endorsements right here for what it's worth. And it's not, you know, I even have to think about the word because we don't know what it is. But you know what? I'm not buying what's being sold on this side. Not that ethically, morally, and look, nobody's got it perfect. There's no perfect candidate here. There's no perfect anything, but you got to fall on one side or the other here. And the silent majority, because let me tell you, they came out of the woodworks. Every message I had was, you're saying what's on everybody's mind. Well, guess what? If we're now the show where we're going to say what's everybody's mind, then so be it. We'll say it because it probably is. And if you aren't scratching your head a little bit at all this shit, then you need to wake up. Mm-hmm. I got some energy drinks for you. You need more of them. So, yes, but it's odd. I hope Biden's address was good. If you're listening to this, you've already seen it. You know, he was ready for that endorsement. The whole party's endorsing her. Business leaders are like, what? You know, even Elon Musk has drawn a line in the sand. And look, this should tell you, we said this last week. Smart guy, clearly. Odd at times, like all of us. I'm fucking odd at times. I mean, you know, so eccentric, baby. But he knows it's not necessarily good for business for him to endorse Donald Trump. We've already talked about all the liberals that usually buy his Teslas. Mm-hmm. So,
Trump's
you know,
pro gasoline, oil.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for Tesla.
But he knows he does want what's best for America. He watched as his son got, we'll call it, woke hustled into oblivion a little bit. He said it as much. Mm-hmm. Talked into by society and everything else that has normalized non-normal behavior. And he's had enough. And you know, it's not good for business. I don't think it's on the surface the best thing for business for him.
I mean, I would have to agree.
Right.
He's pushing electric, and we know Trump's a fossil fuel guy, and I think that says a lot if you're going against what's probably your best business interest.
Yeah.
He's got a bigger dog in the fight, right? His son, he said that, right? His son fell victim, quote unquote, to the woke mind virus. Those are his words.
Yes. So,
I don't know. I guess it's become personal for him to a degree.
I know. Yeah. You think?
Maybe that's why I bought X, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Which
I part of me with a guy like him that plans and thinks, and, you know, I think he's calculated, you know, how long this has kind of been in his crawl, you know, watching everything that's going on.
Yeah, he's playing chess.
Yeah. And I think he knows he has the ideas, the business, and the ability to execute over and above maybe the impact that it might immediately have. Speaking of Elon Musk, he delays the Tesla Optimus humanoid robot. The idea is to leverage Tesla's existing technologies to develop a humanoid general purpose robot that can perform dangerous or repetitive tasks in different industries or commercial purposes. Eventually, Tesla aims for the robot to also be used by consumers in their homes. I want one of these things, as long as it doesn't like eat me or kill me. Tesla unveiled Optimus Gen 2. I wish they call it Optimus Prime if that wasn't like already taken by the Transformers. You know what I'm talking about if you're a Transformers junkie like I was. A new generation of its humanoid robot. When it comes to a timeline, Musk said in just a few months that he believes that Optimus will be used to perform real tasks inside actual Tesla factories by the end of the year. So he can start selling the robot to customers outside of the company by the end of 2025. He's updated a timeline saying the Optimus will go into low production for Tesla, internally used next year. So it's delayed a little bit. Let's make sure that thing doesn't go off the reservation, so to speak.
It's a little, I have mixed feelings. I mean, we've been using robots in an industry for years, right?
Yeah.
And I could see, all right, if it's dangerous stuff, but I still am like, all right, well, does that mean construction guys are losing their jobs? You know?
Yeah, I know. It's like,
It's just a balance, right? It's a delicate balance. I'm interested in it. But even in my home, I'm like, well, I have a housekeeper. I don't want to, you know,
put her
out of a job.
Or him.
Exactly. Actually, I have a guy and a girl.
Yes.
So
yeah, exactly. Couple.
Jose and Christina. Amazing.
Yeah. I'm an amazing housekeeper, actually. I'm actually pretty good at cleaning the house. But
I believe that.
But I don't do it at my house.
Well, I know your wife gets real uptight about those rugs.
Yes.
You don't know how to vacuum those rugs the right way.
No. No. Actually, my sister helps us with our house. Stephanie, I love her. And she has Fridays off. And I like to put a little money in her pocket. And she's a very anal retentive cleaner. And she loves it. I think she, I pay her for something she loves.
That's how my sister is. I've paid her to help me organize my house before.
Yes. She's amazing.
Yeah.
The robot. I don't know. I always think back to the robot that was in Rocky 3. If you go watch Rocky 3, and it's the maid that he gives for his trainer guy that's kind of the off-put guy that he buys her this robot that's rolling around on the floor. This is in the 80s. So they had this thing planned already, but it was obviously just staged and everything. I don't know that it was actually real technology, but it looked like a housekeeper dressed up as a robot, or a robot dressed up as a housekeeper. It was funny.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, it's inevitable. It's, just when you think about it, we put the evolution of work puts other potential work out, working out. So out of business. So it's how are we evolving? I don't know where that line ends. And it's also the challenge of trusting whether or not these things are programmed correctly. That's sort of the other side of the coin, right?
I like the idea of, for these repetitive, dangerous tasks, all right, get a robot. But what are all these people going to do? If there's something positive.
Not die doing the work. Yeah. But, it depends on what we're talking about. Talking about cleaning houses, or are we talking about scaling, 50-foot climbs like that robot we talked about one time that can jump, 200 feet in the air.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Brianna, would you have a robot housekeeper in your house?
I would have a robot housekeeper. Absolutely. I was also going to say that they're replacing a lot of construction jobs. Like Chris said, they have excavators now that are fully automatic. They don't need a operator to operate the excavator. So jobs lost.
Yeah. Well, we can lose them to aliens, illegal aliens, or we can lose them to robots, it looks like.
That's true.
Take your pick. I mean, just saying. So let's focus on the good news.
Go learn a fucking skill.
Yeah.
Learn something robots can't do.
I know. Repairing those washing machines that Chris doesn't know how to do.
Yeah. I stay keeping that company paid with my washer and my AC unit.
Yeah. The more I hear Vance talk, the more I like him, though. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
That's his story and him. I sidebar, but talk about not growing up with the best and making something out of yourself. That's a story we could all get proud of.
Yeah. I'm interested to learn more.
I know. And it's funny how under the radar certain people are, right?
Yeah. And how quickly they get presented to us and become very popular. That's on
exactly
both sides.
Both
That's
sides.
politics, right?
All
of a sudden, someone comes out of nowhere and 3 months later, everyone in the world knows who they are, Like Kamala Harris. An example.
I'm waiting for that video that makes me tear up when I watch it on Kamala Harris. I just haven't seen it yet. I don't, maybe it's out there. but I hadn't watched it. I need to watch that video. McDonald's to extend the $5 meal deal. we had to turn it, like, and I wanted to keep this article on here. This is from foxbusiness.com, ironically. This is back to affordability. The reason they have this is because of inflation and everything else, and because the sales have been creeping down on like these extras and like things that people spend money on. McDonald's limited time $5 meal deal will remain available longer than 4 weeks at many locations. It's only slated to run about a month, but the majority, 93% of McDonald's restaurants nationwide now intend to keep it on their menus for longer. Customers can pick up 2 sandwich options, McDouble or McChicken plus small fry, 4-piece nugget, and a small soda. The length of the deal's extension will depend on the McDonald's restaurant. It's meeting the objective of driving guests back to our restaurants because they haven't been coming because inflation's choking them. That's why. Yeah, when you start to see this kind of stuff, this is what we're talking about, It's good. Good for McDonald's. I mean, I think I want my family eating a little healthier most of the time, but everybody eat a little McDonald's sometimes.
Well, I think it was unaffordable. Like you could eat healthy food for what it was costing to eat McDonald's. I think that was their problem. It's like it wasn't fast, convenient, and low priced anymore. It was fast, convenient.
If I'm going to spend $12, I can get a healthy something else, right?
Right. I'm going to go to Five Guys or something. I'm not going to go to McDonald's.
Or get a salad,
Yeah.
Get a big salad. I watched that Seinfeld the other day. It was funny. Elaine with her big salad. That was a giant salad. Got my big salad.
I missed that episode.
I love Seinfeld. That one and George was the fire. He was over at his girlfriend's house. He was having a birthday party for her son. Her mom was there, who was in a walker, and all these kids. And there was a fire in the kitchen, and George ran out, knocked over like her mom on a walker and all these kids because he was scared of the fire. It's like, and it's comedy. Obviously, no one should be proud of running out of it. It's just so true to his character. Funny stuff. Go watch Seinfeld. If you've seen it, you'd be laughing. These pretzels are making me thirsty. I'm not seeing anything else that's really tickling my fancy. Anything else that you feel like I should bring up here, Brianna, for today?
Wall Street bouncing back after. Let's talk about the huge impact, on stocks with the attempted assassination of the president or of the former president, Donald Trump. And with Biden stepping down, we saw some huge dips in the stock market.
Yeah. I mean, and speaking of that whole thing, the Secret Service director finally resigned. Mm-hmm. Like, if you may watch even like replays of how bad she got slammed in the like Congress or whatever it was, Senator's review. It was like both sides, like missiles directly at her, and I mean rightfully so. And her like either she knew she was going to resign and she was just there like to take it because she had to, and it's like, but her responses were just some of the worst I've ever seen. Like either lack of preparedness or she didn't give a shit. I'm not one or the other. Either one. It's like kind of like maybe it's a sign of how she does things because her lack of preparedness all around is kind of what the issue is, right?
Which is crazy because she had plenty of time to prepare.
Yeah, for that. It's like, it's the accountability, right? It's like, okay, the former president literally just about got shot. We can all sort of admit now that it was a complete debacle for how easy that was for a 20-year-old kid with some major issues to get up there and pull it off. And anyway, the sell-off has bounced back. How's crypto doing from all this, Chris?
It's cranking.
Like, yeah.
I mean, ever since the assassination attempt, I'd say it's up like 20%, and it's been a little choppy, but There was a pullback yesterday, but it's running again today. People are just like, I mean, we're in the middle of a bull cycle. It's going to pump probably till around 2025. But I was shocked at how much this bumped it.
Yeah.
Situation.
Where are we at roughly?
Well, and then when you've got also JD Vance, he also is a big crypto guy. I mean, he talks publicly about owning Bitcoin. So that, that fires up the market too. I don't know right now what exactly I think it's still hovering around like upper 50s, around 60K.
Yeah.
So
now did we buy below 60K in your instance?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I've been doing crypto since like 2017.
I know.
But I'm a big believer. It seems the stock market, dollar cost averaging, put a little in every month and just forget about it. Set it, forget it.
There you go. Just like the old, what was that was the Bake-O-Matic or whatever it was, the infomercial. Set it and forget it.
Well, it's clearly
like
in my
beef
subconscious.
turkey baker, you just set it and you forget it and then dry out your beef. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, there you go. Get on Coinbase, put $100 a month in or something like that. Set it, forget it.
Exactly. The way my mind works and remembers like these slogans from like random infomercials. That's what it was. Set it and forget it. Anyway, I think that's all for today. We're at a tight, roughly 40 minutes. We're going to keep taking the BS out of business and tell you like it is. Ultimately, take the business the way it is. Any final thoughts, Brianna, Chris?
Brianna?
Trump 2024.
Oh, come on. Look,
Cali girl coming in heavy.
Cali transport, like hot off the train coming to South Carolina too. Yes. Brianna, you can do a little who you are, where you came from with everyone.
Alrighty, so I am a California born and raised, and recently moved to South Carolina to escape, California politics, California school system for my two sons, and I have a background in marketing and, some podcast experience, and I'm just really thrilled to be here and be a part of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
You didn't want, pronouns getting thrown around with your boys in California schools and you not get told.
Yeah, no, didn't want that. There's a lot of different things going on. They can't say the Pledge of Allegiance, and there are things that I want to instill in my kids that weren't going to be instilled in California.
Yeah, exactly. So
good for you.
Yes, we're glad she's here.
We'd love to have you.
Yeah, glad to have you.
Thanks, guys.
Any final thoughts, Chris, before we get out of here?
Everyone just have a great weekend. Go fucking exercise. Drink some water.
Yes, there you go. Hey, guys, I said this if you've been following me on social media. Hey, you either find a way or you find the excuse. Let's find the ways, baby. Go find us, ryanisright.com. Find all the highlight clips. Go watch us on YouTube. See all the lovely faces, except mine. The Chris and Brianna, pretty, both of them. Hey, we appreciate you for making us number one. We'll see you next time. Right about now.
This has been Right About Now with Ryan Alford, a Radcast Network production. Visit ryanisright.com for full audio and video versions of the show or to inquire about sponsorship opportunities. Thanks for listening.